it's down as putting people in your pastel paintings or whatever, which is, it is applicable to me because I largely work in pastel. I do some watercolour, but it's largely pastel. However, what we're going to talk about today applies to whatever medium you choose. It doesn't matter. The method is still the same, and hopefully you'll be as surprised as I was to find something that works. I could never put people in my paintings. I hate putting people in my paintings, but it was my son actually who almost forced me to, because I'd done a painting which I reckoned wasn't too bad. And I said to him, "What do you think?" He said, "It's really boring, Mum." He said, "You painted it really nice, but that's so boring." I said, "Oh, okay then, what does it need?" "Well, plus people and a dog." And I said, "I don't do people and dogs," and I just walked out of the studio and left it at that. But you know, afterwards you're lying in bed and you think, maybe there's something. So I tried to draw some people, and they're useless because I never did them. I couldn't do it. So I've adopted a little method of, I won't call it cheating, but I think you'll know what I mean. Because when you're putting people in your paintings, whether it is a street scene or it could be anything at all, landscape, they need to be the right size. Because if you've got some people in a street scene, for instance, that's the first one I'm going to show you, and they're too big or they're too small, then that changes the whole thing. So what I'm going to do is, I'm just going to illustrate that, and I'm going to concoct a street scene. Now, I roughed this out before I left home, but it's just basically a row of houses. And obviously, with houses, you can't have a huge person stepping out of a little tiny house because they just look silly. So we've got some doors, quite a big door here because this one is nearest us. And there's windows and so on there. And that bit's quite important. That is our eye line, which is always the horizon. Now, if you're standing, supposing you were standing at the bottom of a gully or in just anywhere at all where there are mountains around you, in the Lake District, your eye line is always the same. My eye line is just a wee bit lower than that thing there, roughly lower than that. That's my eye line. So even although you're standing in the mountains, that bit up there, the top of the mountain, is just the top of the mountain. It isn't your eye line. So if you're standing talking to some people who are right in front of you, unless they're very tall or they're children, their eye line is going to be roughly on a level with yours. So here's the eye line for my street. It's not downhill and it's not uphill, we're just level. And we've got some trees here. Now it's quite important to have trees there because in your landscape or in your street scene, there's going to be all sorts of clues as to how big your people should be or how small. And like me, oh, was that me? It's because I clutched my chest. Right. It's okay, I won't do that again. Are you videoing all this?
No.
Okay, so I lost my train of thought now. Yes, so there's all these clues in the landscape or in the street which you, like me, won't have been aware of, but they're there. And once you are aware of them, then they'll